guys, welcome to my sister's house TV. I want to thank you for tuning in. If you guys haven't already subscribed, make sure that you click that subscribe button and also turn on those notifications so that way you know the next time that I post a video. I first want to give a shout out to all the people that subscribe to my channel already. We're 100 subscribers in. I know that some people that's not a lot, but to me that means a lot to me that you guys subscribed to my channel and supported my YouTube. So thank you all. It's only up from here, so I'm just super excited about what the future holds for my sister's house TV. Today we're going to be talking about nutrition. I did a vote on Instagram and this is what you guys voted for. So the next video is going to be about how to build a booty. So that's going to be a video that encompasses more exercises, foods that I ate, and just daily habits that I use in order to sculpt and build the butt that I never had. Everybody in my family had it and I didn't. So we'll talk about that in the next video. But today we're going to be talking about nutrition. So the first part of nutrition to me is macros. You heard me say that in the last video. If you haven't watched the last video, please make sure that you go back and watch it. But this video is going to be about nutrition and macros. Fasting, things of that nature, how I eat, how often do I eat, what do I eat, things of that nature. So let me preface by saying that I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor. Please do not go out here doing stuff without consulting somebody that is a professional. I am not, I'm an amateur. Please, okay? I'm not trying to get sued, just a poor girl with student loans trying to figure it out, okay? So, like I said, the first thing is gonna be macros. I know that some people don't understand what macros are. The word macros seems intimidating. It's macronutrients. Macronutrients is basically how much calories you should consume every day, how much carbs, proteins, and fats you should consume in your diet every day in order to drive a specific result. So whether you want to lose weight, gain weight, or maintain your weight, depends on the macros that you'll be given whenever you use a macros calculator. I will link another macros calculator in the description below. It was in the last video, but I'll just make sure that you guys have it because it's a key component to this video. So for me, like I said before, I was a chronic undereater. I was eating pizza, burgers, wings, fries, ice cream, cookies, all that kind of stuff. But when I was eating them, I wasn't eating a lot of them. So I just had a whole bunch of bad foods, bad nutrients in my body, or no nutrients in my body, and my body was feeding on fats and sugars and things of that nature, and that's how I gained so much weight. But whenever I calculated my macros, I was surprised to find out how many fats and carbs I was supposed to actually be consuming every day. So I did struggle with the amount of protein that I needed to consume. I'm not a big meat eater. I also didn't realize how much protein isn't in a chicken breast or isn't in a cup of protein, a cup of ground turkey, something like that. I used to think that if I had to consume 150 grams of protein in a day, I could eat like 2 chicken breasts, some eggs, and that'll be it. No, it's kind of hard. So as an undereater, I was having to challenge myself to eat more. So it's very insightful. So what I would do was go use that macro calculator that's in the description and make sure that you go through that, be honest about your height, your weight, all that kind of stuff, because it'll be very specific on what you should be eating every single day. Okay, so how do I eat? What do I eat? How did I figure that part out? So my thing is just research. So I use tools like YouTube, Pinterest, things of that nature to make sure that I had a plethora, a library of things that I could consume. Like I said before, I'm a play vegan. I'm not a real vegan because sometimes I like wings and sometimes I like cheese and dairy. But for the most part, I don't consume animal products. So I have to figure out very creative sources to get my protein from, how to stay full every day. You know, figuring out like what I should be eating, because I was just like you guys. I was eating just the standard American food and not understanding nutrients. Why can't I say nutrients? I wasn't understanding my nutrition. So that would be the second thing. Make sure that you do your research and find out what foods you can eat, foods that you like. I have a full spreadsheet on Google Sheets of all the foods that I like. that are healthy with their macros in there. So all their nutrition facts, how many carbs, how many fats, how many proteins, and how many calories is in that specific food. And make sure that you're paying attention to serving size as well, because I can't tell you how many times I have tried to eat a chocolate bar thinking that it was 110 calories, but really the chocolate bar was split into 3 servings, and it really was 3 times the everything. So I'm like, oh, it's only 100 calories for this chocolate bar, and it's only 3 grams of sugar. No, it was like 300 calories and however many grams of everything else. And I was just upset. I was distraught. So make sure that you are not falling victim to marketing and sly, slick food companies that be trying to play, because that's what they try to do. They try to play you. So make sure that you understand your nutritional facts and what is going into your food and what's going into your body. The second, I guess the other big part that everybody was asking me about that helped me was intermittent fasting. Okay, I'm sure that's a term that you've heard that's floating around, but you may not know exactly what it is. I didn't really know what it is. I remember my trainer in Houston, Q, he definitely told me to intermittent fast, and he was like, basically you go fast for 16 hours and you go eat for 8. And I was like, okay. I didn't do any research. I didn't find out what that meant. I really didn't look into it. I just didn't eat for 16 hours and I ate for 8. But I wasn't conscious of what I was eating during that time. Wasn't really conscious of how to curb hunger, how to fight cravings, things of that nature. So I do the 16-8. It's easiest for me. There's other ways to do it. Some people intermittent fast by not eating for 24 hours, then eating the whole day the next day. They're not eating for 24 hours. They're not eating the next day. I'm not doing that. You're not doing that. I hope not. It's crazy. But I do 16-8. 16-8 means that for 16 hours I don't eat. For 8 hours I do. I stop eating at 8 p.m. I start back eating at 12. That essentially just means that you're skipping breakfast. You shouldn't be eating heavy later at night anyway, maybe on the weekends when you done left the club or something like that, or you have dinner on a dinner date or something like that, and you might have that late night whatever. But for the most part, it is a hard stop at your 1 hour mark, like you're at 8 p.m. and the floodgates are open when 12 o'clock hits. So for me, I probably have my last meal around like 7:30, so that way my food can digest and things of that nature. But I'm not going to get into the specifics and the scientific part of intermittent fasting. I'm just going to talk about my experience. So for the first 3 days, I probably was a little hungry. It wasn't discouraging. I expected that. But I would say if I were to myself that was just starting off, please rely on water. Like, a lot of times we think that we're hungry, but really we're just dehydrated. So make sure that you are drinking water. I drink half of my body weight in ounces every day. So if I weigh 150 pounds, then I'm going to drink 75 ounces of water per day. If you're 100 pounds, 50 ounces of water a day. That is just a very key. You don't have to drink a gallon of water a day. Sometimes that's too much water. You're going to be peeing all day because your body doesn't need that much water. I'm not one of those people who say you could die from drinking too much water. There's never enough water, I guess, but you don't need that much water. It's just like whenever you take vitamins and like your pee is green because you consumed all these vitamins, 1,000% of B12. You don't need that much B12. Your body's not going to actually consume it. It's going to take what it needs and then filter the rest out through water. So make sure you're drinking water. Water also helps filter out all of the negative things that you don't need in your body, just like the nutrients. If you have too much of that, or you have enough of it stored away, then it's going to just filter it out. If you have too much fats or whatever, it's going to filter that out of your body and it's going to come out through your pee. That's why if you are eating bad, your pee is usually yellow because you got bad stuff in your pee or in your body. So make sure you're drinking water. Hot liquids, please. If you are intermittent fasting, start your day with a hot green tea with nothing in it. Just thug out the nasty taste of tea. Drink it before you go to bed. Have a filling meal before you go to bed. For me, I make sure that my meals are very fibrous, that they are filling, not heavy because I need to go to sleep soon, but filling. So I make sure that I have things like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, black beans, quinoa, things of those nature that are complex carbs that are good for your body, but that are not going to be detrimental to your weight loss. Also intermittent fasting, meal prep. How did I forget that? Meal prep. You need to make sure that you are planning and prepping all of your meals whenever you are doing intermittent fasting, because it is so easy to fall off. Because if you forget that you have to stop eating at 8 o'clock and it's 7 o'clock and you don't have anything prepared, what you got to do? You got to go down to the Whataburger. You got to go down to McDonald's and find you something to eat, because you didn't plan. You don't have groceries in your house. You don't have anything to cook that you can cook within 20 or 30 minutes and eat it within 20 or 30 minutes that is good for you. So you have to plan. You have to prepare your meals. Otherwise, you're going to fall off the wagon. So for me, I make sure that I, at the very least, have my lunches prepared, because that's going to be the meal that breaks my fast. And that's also very important. Make sure that the food that you eat when you break your fast is good for your body. Make sure that the food that you eat whenever you are breaking your fast is not full of bad fats, because whatever that is, your body's going to eat it up because it's hungry. It needs nutrients. It needs something to feed off of. So make sure that the thing that you eat first is good. Make sure that you have a mix of greens, your proteins, all those macros. Make sure it's a very healthy mix of that in there. The last couple questions that you guys have for me is, what do I eat? How do I fight cravings? Things of that nature. I don't really fight cravings for the most part. If I want something and it's persistent, I'll just have it, but I'll have it in a specific portion size. So I'm not gonna eat the whole pint of ice cream. Like, I will tell you, like, y'all don't realize I was out here eating trash. I would eat a whole pint of ice cream because I really liked ice cream. I love sugar. I knew that I wasn't supposed to be eating dairy, but I still didn't care. I would just take the gas with how it came. But I would eat a whole pint of ice cream. Now I'm very satisfied with having 1 or 2 scoops of ice cream, and that just be it. I guess because I deprived myself of it, I'm satisfied with just a scoop or 2. I used to eat like a 3-pack of cookies from McDonald's. Now I'm okay with eating 1 cookie if I see, like, if my job has like Tiff's treats or something, I'm okay with having 1. Or I would just go back into it. Like, if my brain kept saying, we want sugar, we want sugar, we want sugar, go get some cake, go get this, I would just keep going back. I did not have any self-control. So I would say at this point, I fight my cravings just by having the control of not eating as much as I would before. So just having a 1, 2, maybe 3 scoops of ice cream. And when I say scoops, I mean an actual spoon, like a spoonful, like not a full scoop like that you would get at Baskin Robbins or something. I'm saying like a regular tablespoon, like a mouthful of ice cream. And then you know, if I get cake, I'm gonna get a little slither. If you ever seen on I think that was The Devil Wears Prada, when she was like, just a little slither, little, like a little small piece of cake. Okay, that kind of stuff, like making sure that you are portioning your food out. Even the food that you eat that is good for you, if you don't understand the nutrients that's in those, you'll be eating stuff like, I was eating a lot of mangoes, not realizing there was a lot of carbs in mangoes. So I fight my cravings by not really fighting them at all, just understanding how many calories is in a cookie and how I shouldn't be eating 3 cookies, because that's almost a meal's worth of calories and a meal worth of fats and things like that. So you can consume them if you can control yourself. If you can't control yourself, then you shouldn't be eating it. Also, another good rule of thumb is, do you deserve it? I play that game with myself. Do you deserve it? What did you eat today? Have you been good on your goals? Are you making your marks? Like, are you losing the weight that you want to? Have you been eating healthy today? Have you been making good choices? If the answer is yes, then yes, you can have a cookie, reward yourself. If the answer is no, you gained a pound this week, sorry sis, no ma'am, you're not gonna have that. So, and then what do I eat every day? When I break my fast, I mean, let's just start. I start my day with hot green tea, hot water. I drink half my body in half my body weight in ounces every day, so I'm just drinking water constantly. I break my fast with a pretty green meal. Typically it's going to be some kind of salad with a vinaigrette dressing, some kind of protein like black beans and quinoa. I don't know why I like black beans so much, and I'm just getting into quinoa. And then also some kind of carbs. So most of the time that's brown rice or sweet potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. You can like saute those with herbs and honey, stuff like that, and give it this really good, like, it tastes like I'm eating some kind of pie, but it's not pie. But that's another way that I trick myself. I make things taste similar to things that I really, really like. So I just eat the same thing pretty much every day. If you're not that kind of person, get on YouTube, get on Pinterest, get you a cookbook. They got like the kitchen cookbook, all kind of different cookbooks. Snoop Dogg got a cookbook. Get a cookbook and find recipes that are healthy, that are good for you, that you like, to diversify what you're eating. Because going to Subway and Smoothie King every day is going to get very boring and very expensive. Make sure that you are figuring out how to eat, what to eat, when to eat, and what this is doing to your body. That's another thing. Please stop comparing yourself. Don't compare yourself to people, because you would be very surprised to find out how many people that you see on the internet's bodies are not real, and those are your expectations. You're setting your expectations to be unrealistic, literally, and that's just not fair. And also, if you look at me or other girls that you know that are actually losing weight or that are doing something, use that as motivation, but don't say that you want to look like them. You just want to make sure that you look like the version of yourself that you have in your head. You don't want to look like somebody else. You want to look like you, but fit. So that's what I had to do. I had to look at pictures of myself when I was smaller, or picture myself in the future. So thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of My Sister's House TV. Please make sure that you subscribe. If this video was helpful to you, please share it with somebody. Encourage them to subscribe. I'm trying to come to you guys with giveaways and things of that nature, and I have to have a certain threshold when it comes to subscribers and views on YouTube. Right now I'm working on partnerships, because my Instagram has grown to the point where I can get partnerships on Instagram, and I want to be able to bring that to YouTube. So if you are my follower on Instagram, share this. If you are a friend on Facebook, share this. If you know me, share this. If you are watching the video, share this, subscribe, and make sure that you are watching my other videos as well. Thank you again for tuning into another episode of My Sister's House TV. I'll be back to you guys with the episode about how to build a booty, and I'll be coming out with more videos on exercises and things that I do actually in the gym to sculpt the body that I want. So make sure you tune in the next video and subscribe.